Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite video games of all time, which is sort of funny since it barely has any game in it. I mean, you can finish it whole in like 5 mere hours as compared to other video games nowadays that take like 60 to 100 hours. I will try to explain what I mean. It's basically just a strong willed guy traveling in a land with little to no life, killing these Goliath like constructions called Colossuses to revive his dead lover. And it's in this simplicity where Shadow of the Colossus excels, at least for me. There's this certain sadness and somber in the atmosphere when you move from one Colossus to the other. There's almost no dialogue in the game or backstory given to the protagonist, which is weird in if you see how the main industry works in the entertainment area, the media area. Every protagonist is given a backstory so like we could relate to them or we could empathize or sympathize with them, but not in this game, not in this one. It's hidden in the animations, like when the protagonist swings his sword, he looks like an amateur swinging carelessly with no idea over its edge. But when he draws his bow, he does it with this certain fluidity and sharpness, which led me to assume he was not a warrior or a hero, but a hunter. Of course, that is only a speculation in my part. And if you play the game, you can draw your own conclusions. The creator of the game, Fumito Ueda, said this, and I quote: "For me, it is not important to tell the details of the story." Of course, that may sound kind of weird at first, but in closer inspection, isn't it better to give the readers a faint hint of what's going on and let them continue their imagination from there on? Leave pieces of crumbs so they could follow. Basically, it's the idea of show, but don't tell. Trusting your consumers to have their own capability in storytelling. One little cute detail that I love about this game is the horse, Agro. When you unmount her, she leaves to roam on her own, but comes back as soon as you press a button. The protagonist whistles and she comes running back. This showcases that this horse, Agro, she is an independent being but is also very loyal to the protagonist. It gives its character, it gives its purpose, and it also shows that the world of the Shadow of the Colossus does not revolve around its protagonist, but it it's just a world that the protagonist resides in. Another small thing is that whenever we slay a colossus, we are not given a victorious triumph of a song. The victory song when you slay a colossus is a rather sad one, a rather somber one. And if I think about it, they only attack you not out of anger or malice, but out of self preservation and defense. It gives us some moral ambiguity and a gray area in the protagonist's actions and so on. It makes us question our actions. Killing all 16 of these beasts to revive a girl, is it worth it? The game asks us questions and in turn makes us question ourselves. The world of the Shadow of the Colossus is lonely at best and depressing at worst. It's so empty and devoid of life, and the Colossus are the only sentient beings inhabiting this land, and we set off to essentially murder them. This isn't a coherent or organized essay, but I just felt like sitting down and talking about one of my favorite video games of all time. I can't do proper reviews without somehow being biased. This is just me talking about something I love. that made me feel and experience things which I thought were long gone. So, in short, it's in these little details that my love for this game keeps growing and growing, and it's a really different experience than the games I am familiar with. It's melancholic and it also strives to keep me happy. I think that's what pieces of art are supposed to do, are supposed to be, make you feel things, and the best ones, they leave an emotional imprint on you.